Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and I'm back with another West Coast Racers construction update thanks to our good friend John. You can check out his Instagram down in the description below. But the first thing we will talk about today is the fact that the actual brake fins have been put onto the brake run pieces of track right there, as well as there are a ton of pipes here. But I'm going to call this a West Coast Racers mega update because this is actually from 3 separate visits over the past week. That's why there hasn't really been a West Coast Racers update in the past couple days, because we figured why not show some progression within these updates. So this first video is actually from a good 4 or 5 days ago. So you can see a lot of progression though from our last update alone. You can see even a piece of support right there on the back of that truck bed, but a lot more work has been going into the land that will soon be called the underground, and that excites me a lot. That means they're very close to finishing the coaster and they're finally able to shift some focus over to the land itself. But speaking more on the coaster, you can see some electrical equipment right there that is being placed in for the first and third launches, and that is going to be a big thing that they've been working on and focusing on over the past week. We should be able to see some other interesting stuff a little later on in the video regarding to the launches themselves, and I'm very excited about what is shown up for the launches themselves. But they were actually starting a foundation for some transformers. But in this clip, you can also see that they did put in some new markers that will house some rebar casings for the station building as well as the gift shop. And we will see a little more progression with that in a little bit in this video. So it's very awesome to see that they are moving right along with production for the station building as well as the rest of the land. As you can see from right here, them actually doing some roofing work, it seems, for where one of the new shops for the underground will be. But here's a fantastic look overhead of the spaghetti bowl section as well as at the inversions, and I cannot wait to see this finished up. And just to let you guys know, I have gotten a couple messages and comments that the yellow thick spine track is on site now. It has actually finally showed up as of this Friday. So Friday is their shipment days for the track pieces. So this is fantastic news. I don't know if all the track has shown up, but that's a great sign to say that we are very, very close to all the track being on site. If not, only missing probably another 2 or 3 pieces of track. So hopefully we'll get a little better word on that in a couple days time. But I do want to warn you guys, there will not be a West Coast Racers update after this coming Monday until the next Saturday, because I will be in Ohio at Cedar Point. So I will not be able to edit a West Coast Racers construction update or be able to visit the park myself, sadly. But I'm sure we'll have some updates when I come back. So make sure to stay tuned for that, as well as potentially another update within another 2 or 3 days right before I leave. So let's keep talking about West Coast Racers though, and you can see a little bit more of that electrical work going on, as well as some of the foundations for the station building right here. But moving on to the first and third launches, you can see some areas where they will be attaching electrical work to the launches themselves, which is fantastic news. It means they're preparing these launches to start to be used, and that is amazing. The fact that we are close enough now that we will actually be seeing these launches be used in the near future. So that's awesome to even think about. I can't wait to see the trains on the track, let alone running around the track like crazy. It should be awesome to see that in the near future though. And I love the way the spaghetti bowl is looking right now, and I cannot wait to see it progress a little more in the next coming week or two. But a lot of that is also going to depend on how many pieces of track are still left. Hopefully all of the track is on site with the last shipment, but I do not know exactly how many pieces are needed left. But a great view here of all this new rebar that has gone into the ground, I'm pretty sure as of now, for the station building as well as the gift shop. So this is fantastic news. It took the place of where those markers were a little earlier on in the video, but it is awesome to see this progress right now, and I can't wait to see the actual station building go vertical. But here's another look at the first and third launches right here, and this is pretty much just showing off that there was the starting of a foundation and a spot for the transformers for the launches right there. So kind of hard to see in the footage itself. It's kind of behind everything, but we will talk more about the transformers in a couple minutes in this video. But everything is looking fantastic. You can see them working in the background there, and I cannot wait to see this thing running and let alone get on it. It is looking fantastic, at least from this angle, and hopefully pretty soon here we'll see an actual vertical building just to the right of everything with the track right there. So hopefully that will be the case very soon here, but everything is looking fantastic so far. I'm super excited for it. And I really can't wait to see even more progress on this thing. And I'm really interested to see what else they'll be doing in the next couple weeks, because it is getting down to the detail work now pretty much, except for the building going vertical and finishing track work. They are doing a lot of work on the land itself as of right now though. And here is some footage from a couple days later, and this is just showing off some of the track that is yet to be installed, and this is some of the double thick track for the white side, as well as a new piece or two, actually two pieces for the yellow side right there that have shown up, and that was as of around a couple days ago now. But that's fantastic news seeing that, as well as the new shipment being in right now is even better news. So hopefully they'll be able to put those in the near future. But here is something crazy. You can see giant blue crates on the left side of the screen right now, as well as some people working on the roof tilings for a future shop location. But that right there is what we believe to be a transformer for the first and third launches. So it is absolutely massive, but it does have to be. You are working two launches at the same time. So it's definitely going to take up a lot of power, but they were able to rework that as of a couple weeks ago, which is fantastic news. So it works with Jetstream as well now. But I cannot wait to see these launches in action. But seeing the transformer here, and hopefully they'll get that hooked up within the next couple weeks, and it should be good to go for the launches at least. So this is fantastic news, and I'm really excited to see that big transformer, as well as you can also see one of the pieces of yellow track was being lifted up as John was just about to leave the park for the day. So there is at least one more piece of track installed as of right now. Where it is, we're not entirely sure. We were potentially theorizing it was the second part of the yellow side corkscrew, but we're not entirely sure because there doesn't seem to be enough support work for that second piece, at least as of yet. So my guess would be it would be the connection between the two helixes, but we really don't know as of yet. But here you can see even more detail work being put into the buildings right there. But that will actually do it for everything West Coast Racers as of right now, because now we're going to move on to just the park itself, which is something I don't normally do, but there's a lot going on at the park right now. And here that you can actually see that they've started advertising for Fright Fest, which starts September 14th. So I'm definitely going to have to go check it out, and I think you guys should too. It's an awesome event that they put on every year. If you are a scare lover like I am, you definitely got to go see it at least. And it's actually included with admission, so you don't have to pay another admission or a separate fee. But also the main fountain is getting some touch-up work on it, which is great news, making sure everything's maintained, because that fountain is such a beautiful centerpiece at the entrance of the park. But here's the big thing. We saw a giant crane in between Tidal Wave as well as Green Lantern, and everyone started throwing questions around, and we weren't entirely sure what it was for. Would it be working on Tidal Wave? Would it be working on Green Lantern? No. Actually, it was working on Riddler's Revenge, which actually did close as of last weekend, and they were actually replacing the chain. This is actually sped up footage, if you couldn't tell, of some people being brought up on the crane and replacing the chain a little later on, as you'll see. But the chain has been replaced on Riddler's, and hopefully it will be open and up and running very soon for us all to enjoy again, because I love me some Riddler's Revenge. But I actually didn't know that Riddler's Revenge had gone down because I hadn't been in the park in those 4 or 5 days that it was closed. But it's kind of crazy to see the chain be replaced on the ride. It's not something you normally see at a park, and the fact that they had to get this giant crane is quite impressive. And I mean, it just goes to show you how tall Riddler's Revenge really is. It's something that's not really brought up a lot, but honestly, it is my favorite stand-up coaster for sure, out of I think the 3 I've been on. But yeah, I love Riddler's Revenge, and here's a great shot of the chain right there being lowered into place. But that will actually do it for our mega update for West Coast Racers, as well as the rest of Six Flags Magic Mountain. So I have to say a huge thanks to John for getting this footage for us, as well as thank you so much for watching this video. It means a heck of a lot. And if you don't mind, you can hit that subscribe button if you'd like to stay tuned for more updates in the future. If not, though, that's completely okay. But again, thank you again for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you on the next ride.